So I'm gonna make a pitch right off the bat, and I'm gonna ask if you could go and purchase some credits on R3ciprocity.com. It's gonna really help out this project. So before you leave, because I know that lots of you are gonna leave at this moment with a pitch, I want to tell you about who I am and what this whole story is. Hopefully, if you're a graduate student, if you're a researcher, you're a writer, it's gonna help you out. And you'll understand about who I am and why I'm trying to do this. I'm not sort of a scammy person. That's why I feel like very, very insecure about doing pitches and stuff like that. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor Dave Massack. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole Reciprocity Project to give back as much as I possibly can. There are so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor for to help you out. So, this whole Reciprocity Project started a few years ago. It's probably 5 years ago at this moment. And, I'm just a regular person. I've got a couple of kids. I've got a beautiful wife. I went through graduate school. And when I was in graduate school, it was really terrible in terms of how I felt about myself. And I really struggled with writing. I really struggled with the sort of research component of things, even though I had ideas. It's hard for me to convert those ideas into something that is really well understood and people recognize those particular ideas. And so I thought I was really struggling with this. I still struggle with this. And so when I had this epiphany of, I became an assistant professor at that moment of innovation and strategy and entrepreneurship. It sort of bounces around actually because I cover all of those areas. But I was coming home from Orlando after spending a weekend with my kids at Disney. I live in Tallahassee, which is another city in Florida, about 4 hours away. And I had this epiphany of like, why isn't there a system online? Why isn't there some sort of software online that helps people become better writers and sort of learns as they go? And the way that you learn from other, that you learn how to become better writers is you get peer feedback or feedback from other people. And, I'm sort of a person that studies the sharing economy, and I know that there's lots of people that are not, researchers or not specific people in this particular area that would be wanting to help out, but there's lots of people that are out there, like parents, that other kids, maybe people that are in college, people that let's sort of work part-time, all these kind of people that would love to participate in sort of scientific endeavors or just writing and helping other people out. And I knew that there was a real community out there and people that like to do these kind of things. So I thought, well, maybe I can build a software that can do that. So I called it, I thought about it for a while, and I called it Reciprocity. Tried to find, trying to get reciprocity.com, the actual, like how to spell that. But it wasn't available, so I just threw an E in there. So now it's reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. So that part of it was pretty easy, but the hard part was, and it still has been, is, building this thing out. So actually there's 2 hard parts. The first part, I spent a year trying to sort of assemble a team here in Tallahassee, and that did not work out at all. It just was not working out. So I thought, to heck with this. I'm just going to do this myself. So I got a developer team in the Ukraine to build the sort of first draft of this thing. That worked out partly, but after a while it didn't work out. And then I had to find another development team, and I've been working with these folks for a while in India. They've been great, amazing folks, and helpful and stuff like that. So they've been working on it, and that's who's actually doing the development now, is some folks in India that I get them to work on this. And it's just my wife and I. It's all privately funded because I work at a university, so we have to keep this sort of separate from the university. It's a little tricky with that, with intellectual property stuff. It's confusing, but we've been sort of privately investing in this thing. It's more of me just throwing money hand over fist at this project because I think it's actually a really good and important endeavor, and my wife sort of sitting there thinking, what the heck? It's just, anyways, it's a pipe dream, right? One of those things. But long story short is, after I put this thing out, I got this thing developed and I put it out on the internet, absolutely nothing happened. There was nothing. Like the way that I was so naive about how the internet worked. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I was totally naive, because you actually need a community first. You need this group of people that actually like to, that are sort of band together around something before anything is going to work. And so I started putting out YouTube videos because somebody had sort of mentioned, why don't you do YouTube videos? And at first I was really insecure and talking about explaining things about the R3ciprocity Project, and really insecure. You could I beg for you to actually go watch those ones. You could see how insecure I actually was. But after a while, I sort of found out that there is a group of graduate students, researchers, other professors, other folks that are like you and I, that are struggling with this as well. Folks that do write for a living, and they really struggle with this, and they struggle with so many other things about insecurities and feeling like not good enough, just having sort of real life things. So then I started talking about me and my own experiences, and really just getting into what I'm about and who I am, but couching it in a way that it sort of resonates with you. But these are really, all these things are really about me. If you watch these videos and you follow along, that's the sort of humorous thing. It's really my story and what I'm about. And as I've been putting these things out, not only has it been very therapeutic for me, I've been feeling very good about myself and stuff like that. I still have all of these sort of self-doubts and insecurities and stuff, but other people can sort of follow along and see what is going on, and be part of my life, which has been really cool with the whole YouTube thing, is that you are part of my life and following along. And seeing how this thing goes. So it's no longer this sort of software project, I don't think, but it's more of this community of how do we tackle this larger issue of, making people feel self-confident and secure and feeling okay when they're in graduate school or doing research or doing things that are really tough or novel, and they're sort of branching off into new and different things, because we all need somebody in their corner that's just saying, you know what, you're totally normal to do these things. And so that's what the sort of YouTube, and so I have all these videos now, I think like 1,200, like a lot of videos of talking about these things. But also, I started hiring people to work on a blog, and we really have a fairly large blog at this moment, which has been really nice. blog.r3ciprocity.com. But the biggest thing is I want to sort of circle back and don't just have information that's available, like me talking to you and sharing my story, but I really want to come back and build this system to help us do better, be better writers, be better researchers, really have a stronger community. But the problem is that there's not enough people that are using the whole reciprocity software. So that if you go check it out and go and log on, some people are logging on, and I absolutely appreciate the fact that you're logging on. And you're checking it out, and you've gone on, and some of you, a very small group, tiny group, have actually bought credits, and I really appreciate that. So my pitch is, if we can band together, so two things I would love if you could help out with this, two things, is to pass the word on about this and what I'm trying to do, because I really need your help. Because this is a community effort. I realize that this is very much a community effort. It's just not me that's doing this. And the second thing is, if you can buy some credits, You can, there's several amounts. The lowest one I think is $9.99 to buy credits. It all goes back to you anyways. The system only takes, eventually, it only takes like something like 20% of your credits if people don't actually interact on the system. So if you actually help out other people, it's 100% of the credits stay within the system. But if somebody actually uses it, so the way it works is that you go onto the system, and if you help out other people, reciprocity, then through feedback, it's entirely free. It's 100% free. But if you use, any of the sort of freemium things, or you use any of the extras, like I've got a plagiarism checker in there now. We're building a tone checker. It looks really cool. Very shortly going to be releasing that. Different sort of aspects of AI that's built into it. We've got the plagiarism checkers that's built. All those kind of things are, there's a basic grammar checker in there that's free as well. But, those kind of things are just a little bit, and they're really, really inexpensive compared to the tools that are available at this moment. Super inexpensive compared to the tools that are available to use these things. And so the only way that this is actually going to grow and develop, one last thing, it's if you start becoming, an actual editor on there, and you start doing great things on there, then the system, when you pull money out, so you can eventually turn the credits that you earn into money, then the system takes 20% out of that. But in general, it's not going to grow, it's not going to develop unless you actually help out, because it is very much a community thing. So we really need to, if we're going to make a change and a positive change, not only is it going to signal to me that you actually care about this project too, and you're wanting to help out, you're sort of giving a signal to me that yes, this is actually mattering to you, but also it's going to sort of feedback and grow this thing, so it's actually more helpful for you, and we can actually start building this thing out more so than what we actually have it. So that's my ultimate goal. It's not it's not self-centered. The self-centered component of it is I actually just want to get my money back out of it after spending tens of thousands of dollars, going on much more than that into all of this, and you count my time and all that kind of stuff. It is a lot. So I just want to get that back, but then have a system, eventually maybe hire somebody that's going to sort of run and do the development themselves on this while I sort of just talk to you. Doing all those kind of things really needs your help, because it's kind of a startup endeavor, and there's, it's a community endeavor. So if you can, please go and buy some credits. It would just mean so much. It'd be such a vote of confidence to me, but also to the whole community effort that we're doing here. And it would show that you are doing something that is really cool, and I think it actually will change the way that we actually do research, and the way that we do not only research, but if there's writers, or the model itself can be applied in many different settings, that we actually do work. I think eventually I think this would be very cool. So if you can, go buy some credits. It'd be very helpful. And the other thing is spread the word. Pass this video on to as many people as you can. The people that are in your family, the people that are, that you work with and stuff, and let them know that I'm trying to hopefully do something that's cool. And if they want to participate and help out, I'm always looking for ways that people want to help out. And the sort of bare minimum is to sort of spread the word, and to buy some credits. And then, if somebody is a great developer, they can give me a shout and stuff. I can't pay very much, but all of those kind of things help. So with that, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I do appreciate everything that you're doing, and thank you so much for following along in this project. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.